Hey everyone, this is Jen. I hope everybody's good. I'm here with a quick energy updates of the current energy. So I'm a psychic medium, energy healer, and spiritual teacher. We are right in the middle of so many intense events in the month of August. There are so many. I won't go into all the details of it. Um, we are aiming towards the full moon, the Lion's Gate, the new moon, an eclipse, a lot of things. So it's very intense and it can be like absolutely confusing to navigate this. Uh, we are currently today right at the beginning of a new shift. And when I say beginning, it's really the beginning, the under layers, like the first layers of this shift. People who are very sensitive will feel this. They will feel like this lighter energy mixed with this dense energy at the same time. That's duality, and that's just normal because we always have both at the same time when we are shifting until the old energies are completely released. So it's happening right now. We are moving forward towards a lighter energy, but still August will be stop and go, up and downs, up and downs. In terms of the divine masculine, another layer of resistance has been released. So if you feel that kind of relief, that's what it is. If you still feel resistance, it means that your twin is still dealing with that, but also that you need to look inside to release your own resistance. You're probably resisting something yourself. It doesn't have to be towards or in regards to your twin flame union or energy or connection. It can be anything else in your life at this time. So working on you and working on releasing that resistance, excuse me, working on releasing that resistance will have a ripple effect on your twin, and it will help you move faster. And it's really in parallel. It's almost in real time. We need to be aware of this. Whatever you do on yourself to change something, to release something, to upgrade to the next level, your twin feels. They feel it, like not right away at the same minute, but almost, like plus or minus a few days. The way it really works is that when we need to release something or change something, it starts in the unconscious, and then it works its way through the conscious, and then works its way through the physical until it's completely released. So when you're in the unconscious phase, your twin is also in the unconscious phase. When you reach your conscious phase, they start with the unconscious, and then when you release, they reach their conscious phase, and then they release. And it can go very quickly if you get on it and if you work on it. And it can go very quickly. It can be extremely demanding because playing that kind of game, that kind of energetic ping pong game, asks to have a lot of self-awareness. It asks to be very much grounded. It asks to be very, very centered within yourself because it's extremely demanding, but you need to allow it. So you can choose the pace. If you want this to move quickly, well, do the work quickly, but good, quality. If you need some time because the issue is bigger, take your time, set the pace. That's absolutely fine. The process is still the same. I'm being shown that it's really time for a lot of twins and light worker to stand in their truth and to just release judgment of what other people might think or are thinking. So how to know if that's what you need to release, try to see what you've been tested on. A lot of triggers have been happening lately, especially in the past week. I'm going to give you an example. I have been tested by a lot of different people from different departments of my life, if I can say it this way. I've been tested on my own truth, my own light, my own vibrations. I have been meeting with a few people for a business thing that I'm doing, and a lot of them have tried to like educate me, and they have tried to come from ego, trying to tell me what to do, what not to do, without me asking, at all. And instead of being triggered by this, what I needed to do was to stay firm on my grounds, to stay grounded, and to stand in my truth. And what I'm talking about is, for example, someone who came at me for a label that I was using on, I'm talking about business, okay, on one of my services, and he wasn't agreeing with that label, saying, no, 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 you shouldn't be using that. It's not the right term. And in my mind, what was going on is, no, it is the right term. It is a new term that is still not very popular yet, because I'm one of those early adopters. So that label that I'm using, you may not know it already, you may not be aware of it, you may not understand the meaning of it, but that's the international word or label that is being used. And I'm not talking about psychic business or anything. I mean really a business setting. I was networking with some people. And instead of getting at it from my ego, what I ended up doing, and which is the right thing to do, was just standing on my ground, standing in my light and shining bright and speaking my truth and just letting the person speak and express themselves, even though I wasn't agreeing with them. And I just transmuted and changed, flipped the situation around. I shifted the energy. And he ended up being educated to the term, but it was done in such a compassionate way, energetic wise, that he like didn't see it coming. He realized by himself, without me saying anything, that he was wrong. It was just a lack on his part. Of course, I had to speak up. I had to say a few things, but the bigger part of the job was done from my heart, was done from standing in my heart center in front of this person and just shining very, very bright and just saying, okay, I understand that you don't get it, but instead of coming at me like you're accusing me of being wrong, and instead of me confronting you, that's not what I choose to do. I will send love to the situation. I will send a lot of compassion to the situation until the shift occurs. And it happened within 2 or 3 minutes, which was beautiful. So if someone was standing outside the situation and looking at it, it would have been hard to understand what happened, because this man started like being very like, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, no, 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 no. And then me, instead of reacting from ego or being aggressive or this and that, no, I was just chill. Just smiling, standing in my heart. Right there, he didn't understand what I was doing. And I just spoke a few words, and I just said things like, I understand where you're coming from, but you know that this label is the international label that is accepted for this kind of service. I know it may sound not right, or you may see it differently, but this is the label that I chose for my business and my service, and this is what it is. And it's my energy that made the entire difference in the situation. And then he backed away and he said, yeah, it is? Okay. But what does it mean? And then he started thinking out loud, realizing that he had made an assumption that was totally an illusion. And then the situation ended right there. So a lot of people right now need to release fear of judgment and just, stand in your truth. I'm using an example in a business setting, but it can be done in a light working setting, if I can say it this way. It can be done in any situation. Most of the time it will work. As long as you don't get triggered with your ego and you operate from your heart, you will be able to make that shift. So back to the energies, we are in that shift, and it's going forward. A lot of things are moving. A lot of people will be triggered with their own boundaries in all sense of the word. Spiritual boundaries, human boundaries, any kind of boundaries. If you have a little lack of speaking up for yourself, standing up for yourself, you're going to be tested. That's coming up. The thing to do is very easy, is just to set your boundaries. How do you do that though? That's a different thing. It's just, applying what you know is just, once again, operating from your heart, operating from your divine truth and your true self, and respecting yourself. Because who is going to respect you if you don't respect yourself first, right? So in order to change a situation, we always have to change towards the situation first in order to make a change in the actual situation. So that's what boundaries are. So a lot of people will be triggered and tested on that. That's coming up just for a few days, and then it's gonna go. What else? Remember that when you're being triggered, people always come from their wounds, right? They come from that, I will call it weakness, but I don't want it to be negative. But they're coming from the place where it hurts. So it's important to just, again, stay grounded, stay in your hearts, send love, send compassion. Because if you don't do this, the triggers will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then the situation is going to become so much more negative. They come from their wounds, whether it's conscious or unconscious. Ideally, everybody would know and work, one thing at a time until everything has been cleared. So if you're on the receiving end of someone who comes from their wounding, what do you need to do? The actual opposite of what they're saying, or almost. Because you need to see what's underneath that. I had an example of that, of someone coming from insecurity, but making it seem as they're attacking me. I could have reacted from my ego and saying, what is he saying? Why is he saying that? That's a bunch of BS, Go see over there if you're, if you're there. But that's not what I did. I was able to see underneath. I was able to see that he was coming from a place of insecurity and that he needed reassurance. And that's exactly what I did. And it worked. That situation worked out in my favor. So I was able to shift it. So basically, August is all about seeing these opportunities where you are tested, where you are releasing, and try to shift them for the best. Each test and each trigger that you have is an opportunity to get better, to enhance yourself, to expand yourself, as long as you're aware of the entire process. And that's a really hard thing to do, I know, but it can truly be done. So yeah, I've said it already, in August, that's the best opportunity to do this. Judgment, resistance, let me see. There's also a need of approval that is coming up, meaning that we need to detach from having the need for approval. The only approval that people should get is from themselves. Not caring too much what other people think. Releasing the judgment. It goes hand in hand with that. Because if you have your own approval, you don't need any other external approval. You will stand in your own truth. You will keep moving forward as a balanced individual. And that's the whole point of the twin flame process, by the way, especially the separation or the disconnect process, is for both twins to become in harmony within themselves, in balance within themselves, and their own individual the way any human being should be, the way we are meant to be since the beginning of time. Like independent, not like independent in the negative way, but I should say not codependent. That's what I mean by independent. Still needing needing to socialize and to love and all that, but not codependent, not codependent, sorry. Autonomous, not waiting for the outside to bring you what you need inside because you have all the answers inside. So a lot of that is also going on in the current energies as well. A lot of twins are releasing, and that applies to both female, feminine, and masculine energies. They're releasing the need for codependence. And codependence is not only emotional in a love relationship, it could be in friendship, it could be in anything in your life. So trying to see if you have any codependence patterns and releasing them is a great idea at this time. Or later, whenever you're ready to do this is a good thing to do. Let me see if there's something else. Balance, balance, balance. So we are working towards balance, 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 or more balance, another layer of balance, another layer of information. So we need to keep walking forward. It's a beautiful time, even though it's really intense. It's a beautiful thing. It is happening. So don't give up. If it's really hard for you, don't give up. The feminine is still purging for the masculine, and working on you is the thing to do because it's going to set you free. So using different techniques like meditation or even visualization. I just posted something on that on my Facebook page if you'd like to see it. Indigo Girls readings. See how to visualize correctly. That will help to manifest and move forward. When you feel like you're under the water a little bit or under too much pressure, using visualization techniques will be very helpful. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can reach me either by email, indigogirl555@gmail.com, or using my Facebook page, Indigo Girls Readings. And I say thank you for being here and listening. I support you all. I know it's a rough time right now, but it's all for the greater good of all, the highest good of all, and for great things to come. So let's stay strong. And until the next time, well, blessings to all. Ciao, ciao.